Hello and welcome to Question Hour, a unique show on Rajya Sabha TV where you get to the latest of the questions and the answers asked by the members of the upper house in the current session of Parliament. I'm Rajat Kain and I'm joined with my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. So let's take our viewers through important questions and answers that we've filtered for them in this session of the Question Hour show.
Well, the first question of this edition of Question Hour, asked by member Ramnath Thakur from Ministry of Home Affairs. The member sought whether it's a fact that incidents of martyrdom of JAWANS have come down on account of Article 370 and 35A of the Constitution of India by the government.
Well, that's a very important question asked by member Ramnath Thakur, and responding to this query, the government says that the incidents of martyrdom of security force personnel have come down by 73% in Jammu and Kashmir after Article 370 was abrogated and other constitutional ambiguities were effectively removed on 5th and 6th of August 2019 by recognizing the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into the new Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. With 82 security personnel were martyred during the period of 173 days from 13th of February 2019 till 4th of August 2019. 22 security force personnel were martyred during the similar period of 173 days from 5th of August 2019 till 24th of January 2020. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by member Pratap Singh Bajwa, and this question is to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. And Mr. Bajwa has asked the government whether it is formulating any specific plan to reduce India's oil import.
Replying to the query, the government said, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas is working in collaboration with various central government ministries, state government stakeholders to make efforts to achieve reduction in import dependency on oil. The import reduction strategy broadly includes increasing domestic production of oil and gas, improving energy efficiency and productivity, giving thrust on demand substitution, promoting biofuels and using alternate fuels and renewables. Government has taken several steps to enhance exploration and production of oil and gas in country, which include policy for relaxation, extensions and clarifications under product sharing contract regime for early monetization of hydrocarbons discoveries, discovered small field policy, hydrocarbon exploration and licensing policy, policy for extension of production sharing contracts, policy for early monetization of coal bed methane, setting up of national data repository, appraisal of unappraised areas and sedimentary basins, reassessment of hydrocarbons resources, policy framework to streamline the working of production sharing contracts in pre-NELP and NELP blocks, policy to promote and incentivize enhanced recovery methods for oil and gas, policy framework for exploration and exploitation of unconventional hydrocarbons under existing production sharing contracts, coal bed methane contracts and nomination fields. Well, moving on, next question was asked by member Motilal Vohra from Ministry of Steel. The member sought to know whether it's a fact that 5 workers were injured in first week of January 2020 due to leakage of gas at biggest and state-of-art blast furnace 8 of BHILAI steel plant.
Responding to the question asked by member Motilal Vohra, the government says that 5 workers were partially exposed to blast furnace gas for some time in BF8 area of BHILAI steel plant. The main reason for gas leakage was failure in the gas evacuation system due to failure of actuator of pressure regulating control valve. The government further says that carbon monoxide gas monitor with audio alarm and hooter already exists in the BF complex 8 of this particular steel plant. There was an indication of high parts per million of CO in fixed type CO alarm set up in the complex. The alarm rang. However, as the working area in the vicinity is extremely noisy, it might have gone unnoticed by the workers. An internal inquiry committee comprising of senior executives from other plants or units of SAIL was constituted to inquire into the incident. The major recommendations of the committee are as under. Now, these recommendations include incorporation of system of opening of bleeder number 2 whenever gas network pressure exceeds after limit independent of any other signal of valve opening. Installation of more audio safety alarms at identified strategic locations, especially near all water use seals in the gas network. And lastly, strengthening of existing clamping mechanism between pressure regulating valve and actuator to prevent any such failure in future. And moving on to the next question that has been asked by member KJ Alphonse, and this question is to the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. And Mr. Alphonse has asked the government about the steps taken for implementation of National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction.
Well, the Ministry of Social and Justice and Empowerment replied saying that it has formulated and is implementing National Action Plan for Drug Demand Reduction for the period from 2018 to 2025. The plan aims at reduction of adverse consequences of drug abuse through a multi-pronged strategy. The activities under the NAPDDR include awareness generation programs in schools, colleges, universities, workshops and seminars with parents, community-based peerless interactions, intervention programs for vulnerable adolescent and youth in the community, provisioning of treatment facilities and capacity building of service providers. The ministry has also approved the proposal of National Drug Dependence Treatment Centre, All India Institute of Medical Sciences for providing financial assistance for establishment of addict treatment facility at 125 government hospitals in phased manner for over a period of 3 years. An amount of 6.46 crore has been released to aims for the same during 2019-20. The National Institute of Social Defence is technical resource agency for implementing the activities of NAPDDR. Well, moving on to the last question of this edition of the show that was asked by member Jose K. Money from Ministry of Labour and Employment. The member asked about the status of implementation of Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008, and he has asked the state-wise details of his query.
Well, the government has given a very elaborate response to this question, and the government goes on to say that in order to provide social security benefits to the workers in the unorganized sector, including rural and agricultural labourers, the government has enacted the Unorganized Workers Social Security Act 2008. This act stipulates formulation of suitable welfare schemes for the unorganized workers on matters relating to life and disability cover, health and maternity benefits, old age protection and any other benefit that may be determined by the central government from time to time. Life and disability cover is provided through Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana to the unorganized workers depending upon their eligibility. Government of India and state governments pay the annual premium in equal share. The health and maternity benefits are addressed through Ayushman Bharat scheme. The government further says that for the old age protection in the form of monthly pension, Government of India has recently launched Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana. Under this scheme, minimum assured monthly pension of 3,000 rupees will be provided to the unorganized workers after attaining the age of 60 years. Prescribed monthly contribution is payable by the beneficiary and equal matching contribution is paid by the central government. Every welfare scheme have their separate monitoring mechanism to ensure the effective implementation.
Well, that's it in this edition of Question Hour. Many thanks for watching this, but don't go anywhere away. On the next side of this show, Prashan Kal, the Hindi version of Question Hour. Thank you for watching Rajya Sabha TV.